A lot better on me. Or, boy, those pants don't fit you. They fit me perfectly. And the other thing about Stanley is that he was always trying to scare us. He would jump out of closets or he would hide under the bed and come crawling out. And he was constantly scaring us. And I think Bill and I had one goal in life. And that goal was we wanted to find a way to scare Stanley. And we were always trying to think of a way. Well, one day, I finally got a good idea for scaring him. And it actually was kind of sad. 3 houses down from us, a very old man named Mr. Wilkins died. He'd been sick for a long time, and he died. And his house was empty. And a few days, maybe 3 or 4 days after he died, I was walking to school in the morning, and I saw that his front door was open. Somebody had left his door open. So I went up the drive, and I went up to his house, and I was going to close the door for him. And then I just thought, maybe I'll take a look inside his house. And so I walked in, and it was very cold. I remember it was a cold October day, and there was just the lights were off, of course, and there was just a little beam of orange sunlight coming in through one window. And everything was just as it had been left. All the furniture was there, and I took a quick walk around the house, and I looked in Mr. Wilkins' bedroom, and that's when I got the idea of how to scare Stanley. So after school, I went to my brother, and I said, Bill, listen, this is perfect. This is what we're going to do. Stanley is coming for dinner tomorrow night. You know he's afraid of ghosts, right? Here's what we're going to do. After dinner, you will sneak over to Mr. Wilkins' house. You'll go into his bedroom, you'll climb into Mr. Wilkins' bed, and you'll cover yourself up entirely. And then I will dare Stanley to come. I'm going to say, Stanley, I bet you won't come to a dead man's house. And of course he'll want to, right? And I'll bring him to Mr. Wilkins' house, and I'll bring him into the bedroom. And then you, Bill, you sit up very slowly under the covers. Very slowly sit up and say, get out of my house. And this, I know this will scare Stanley. And Bill said, Bob, that's great. That's fabulous. I know it's going to work. That's terrific. And so he said, the only problem is I have a trombone lesson tomorrow evening. My brother he was very short, and he had short arms, but he loved to play the trombone, but he couldn't play any of the low notes. He couldn't reach the low notes. He could only play high notes. But I said, don't worry, have your trombone lesson. I'll keep Stanley at the house late, and I'll give you plenty of time to get over, and I know we'll terrify him. So the next night, Stanley came to dinner, and we had a nice dinner, and I played some games afterwards. And then I said, Stanley, I'll bet you're scared to go to a dead man's house. And he said, no, I'm not. No way. Lead the way. So we went outside, and I led him over to Mr. Wilkins' house and take inside. And it was really dark in there and very cold. And I said, Stanley, I bet you're afraid to go into a dead man's bedroom. He said, no, I'm not. Don't be ridiculous. Let's go. And I led him into Mr. Wilkins' bedroom. It was totally dark in there, but I could see under the covers. I could see the lump in the bed under the covers. And Stanley said, see, I'm not afraid at all. And then slowly the covers rose up. Slowly they rose up. And the voice said, get out of my house! And Stanley's eyes bulged and his mouth dropped open. He tried to scream, but only a squeak came out. He was terrified. He went running. He didn't even stop. He went running out of the house, running out the front door. I said, it worked, it worked. I was so happy. it worked, and I went to the front door and I watched him, and Stanley was running, screaming down the street. I thought, oh, I was so happy. And then I looked and I saw my brother walking up the driveway. And he said, "Am I too late to scare Stanley?" That's my true ghost story.
Wow.
Thank you very much.